1920s Boston, a bustling and thriving city in the midst of a period of rapid growth and change. Streets are lined with a mix of grand historic buildings and newer, more modern structures. Many of the buildings are made of brick and stone, giving the area a sense of elegance and tradition. The heart of downtown is Boston Common, a large public park that is a popular gathering spot for locals and visitors alike. The park is lined with trees, gardens, and statues, and is a popular spot for picnics, concerts, and other public events. The financial district is a hub of activity with banks, insurance companies, and other businesses occupying the grand, imposing buildings. Your area is also home to several government buildings, including City Hall and the State House. Streets are filled with people going about their daily lives, from business people in suits, street vendors selling their wares. Streetcars and automobiles can be seen navigating the busy streets. Despite the hustle and bustle of everyday life, there is a sense of tradition and respect for the past. Many residents are proud of the city's role in the American Revolution and the abolitionist movement. Cultural institutions such as museums and libraries thrive, and the city is home to a thriving art scene. The Boston Symphony Orchestra and the Boston Opera are both well-known, established, and respected. Dr. and Jekyll and Mr. Hyde plays at the local cinemas. Songs such as Swanee and Ben Sylvan's Dardanella Foxtrot were gracing the airwaves, and President Woodrow Wilson was gearing up for one last year in the White House, while the Senate enacted the Volstead Act, which restricted the manufacturing, transportation, and sale of intoxicating liquors. But beneath the hustle and bustle of its citizens, amongst the young and the old, the locals and the immigrants, lay something that seldom anyone notices, or chooses to notice, which for the sake of their own sanity is probably for the best. Welcome, Call of Cthulhu. A rainy, dark, and dreary day in the city of Boston. You pull up just down the street from your destination, turning off the wipers as you do so. The rain is beating down relentlessly, and you try to shrug it off as you run toward the entryway of your destination. The distance to the door from the car is not far enough, and an umbrella is necessary. Mystic Treasures is a small store wedged between a hardware store on one side and a beauty salon on the other. A small sign hangs above the door in black and gray that marks it as Mystic. With a large front window, you can see a long, narrow store lined with shelves, filled to the brim with books and old trinkets. As you pass through the door, a small bell announces your arrival. The interior of the store is dimly lit, with shelves and tables filled with books and other items for sale. The smell of pungent incense fills your nostrils, and soft music plays from a small radio at the front of the store. A young Oriental woman, who you know as Ling Ling, nods to you, indicating to head to the back. You head past the book-lined walls, the stands of books, make your way into the back. A cozy seating area, which is warmed by a small fireplace, where 4 comfortable seats form a semicircle around its radiating warmth. Waiting for you, Mr. Tanner. You all know Mr. Tanner as the one who is organizing a paranormal club of sorts. Meet once a week to discuss things of the occult, things of extraordinary physics and acts of nature and things of the unexplained. As you enter the shop and head to the back, you all grab a seat and you notice Mr. Tanner, a usually jovial man in his 50s, well-dressed, seems to have a bit of a, not a snarl, but a grimace across his face, and he greets you all as you come in. Mike, it's good to see you. Mike, if you want to describe yourself.
Yeah, you see a dark-haired gentleman in a cream-colored suit walk up, pulls a cigar out of his breast pocket, and tries to light his lighter a couple times, and it doesn't work. He says, "Mr. Tanner, you wouldn't happen to have a light on you, would you?"
Sorry, not in the shop, and Ling might have one. I cannot smell of that.
Says that I lean forward with a lighter that is carved with the 21st, 201st Infantry. And I look you in the eye as I light your cigarette.
Say, oh, Army man, eh? I was in the war as well. What branch were you?
205th Infantry.
I was a paratrooper, but I got this bum knee in my first drop. Had to leave the war early. I guess World War One wouldn't be paratrooper. Nah, whatever.
Guess that makes you a very poor infantry.
You can say that.
And as you're discussing, the bell once again rings at the front of the store. A diminutive man approaches.
Hello, gentlemen. How are we this evening?
I didn't realize I wasn't supposed to introduce myself. I'm sorry. I thought it would be a good moment. I'll lean back into the shadows.
You must be Zachariah.
And as he comes in, you just hear, as he's coming through, got this big ass like steamer trunk with him, struggling with it because it's almost as big as he is. He's kind of wiping the sweat off of his brow. His suit is old, very nice, but old. Yet his fedora is brand new, and it's nice and perfectly suitable for anybody out and about. But his suit just looks dingy and beat to death. He stands there and he looks and he goes, "How are you tonight?"
I'm dry. Still coming down out there?
Yeah, it sucks. So, what are we talking about tonight?
Well, I have a interesting situation. I thought that maybe instead of a discussion on werewolves and Nosferatu, perhaps we could discuss something else. You see, I have an old friend. Tim Jennings. He works for the Darkwing Detective Agency, and he called me up last week, and he was asking me to look into this piece of real estate that he was having issues with. I didn't think of much of it at the time, and I kind of pawned it off, but he followed it up with a letter yesterday. And probably easier for me just to read it and try and paraphrase it. He reaches into his vest pocket and he pulls out a vanilla envelope and he unfolds it. It says, "Dear Mr. Tanner, as we discussed on the telephone, I'd like you to look into this case for me. I do not wish to spare anyone from the agency to look into wild stories and rumors of hauntings. Mr. Knotts, the landlord, is a friend of a friend. So I want to offer him some sort of investigation. And when I saw your advert for the Paranormal Club, I thought it would be ideal to take on such a case. Mr. Knott wishes to find out about the mysterious happenings at the house and set the rumors to rest. He has been unable to rent it after the last tenants, the Marcario family, were involved in a tragedy of some sort. The house is located at 31 Chatham Street and is known locally as the Old Corbett Place. I suggest looking into the history of the house, using any local archives you can find at the library, all the records, or maybe even try the offices of the Boston Globe for old newspaper articles. I've also enclosed the key for the property. As I discussed on the phone, I'm willing to pay 25 a day and 50 for information that will appease Mr. Knotts. If you manage to find and confirm the source of the problem, I'm told Mr. Knotts will also pay a bonus. Yours sincerely, Dr. T. Jennings.
DM, did you see the message I sent you on the...
You sent a message to who?
to you, I didn't know how to do a whisper on this.
Oh, in regular chat
BTT.
in BTT.
No.
Okay. I just like...
Yeah, go ahead, Cillian. Introduce yourself there proper to Mr. Zachariah, who just arrived.
Coming in from the shadows, a youngish man of about 26, although his face looks much older. You can see white roots in his hair, like he dyes it. His nose is broken in several places, which has his good looks. And we spoke earlier, though briefly, you can tell that he has a lisp. Those of you who are more observant would note that he has scarring on his knuckles and fists, and that he has a bad case of boxer's ear as well. Aside from that, the rest of his body is fit and well trained, and there is a haunted look in his eye as he looks at all of you. He's playing almost nervously with a flip knife in his hand, flipping and unflipping it. Overall, he's just simple.
Well, I know this is not exactly a real quiet discussion. This is more field work, I would say, but he is paying handsomely, and who knows, maybe if the place is actually haunted, you'll get some first-hand experience of some of the paranormal or the occult.
Well, I can. You say it does pay, so I am absolutely inclined to agree. And if it's real, that'd be nice too.
I have one question.
Shoot.
What's that?
Can I rely on teeth too, fellas?
I'd be you to judge. I haven't known y'all for more than a few weeks.
Either of you tasty in a fight?
Oh, I usually try not to get into them, but when I need to, I can get myself out of them.
And I am very familiar with the ectoplasmic entities of our universe. And you see these wearing this also a big gold scarab. He's like, I am quite familiar with the cult world.
And you're kind of looking down on this Zachariah. He stands under 5 feet, skinny, I guess a diminutive, not a very attractive man in all aspects.
Well, my name is Killian Murphy, or Houlihan. They call me Killian. And I have one question for you to find you. What is your favorite film? He is dead fucking serious.
Nosferatu, of course.
Competent work of cinematography.
Oh, I'm more of a fan of that Charlie Chaplin gent. He makes me laugh.
Pedestrian.
Dan, I don't know if you can turn your mic up or get your mic a little closer. It's
Sure.
making it hard to hear.
Yes, I.
Some of it's my issue without having a headset. They're all coming from the speakers. So.
My mic is up, so I just need to speak louder.
There we
How
go.
is it? How's that now?
Yeah.
It looks like he appreciates Zachariah a little bit more than Mike, I'm afraid. You can see the look of like. Oh, if you want to see a comedy show, just go to any funny yuck club.
And my understanding is you served. So I kind of put my hand out, looking at him. And things. He shakes his hand. He goes.
Like he squeezes yours.
And he stands up as tall as he can. He's like, Lieutenant Colonel Zachariah.
Oh shit. He stopped squeezing, and then it turned into a normal handshake.
He goes, yes, I too served. I was officer in charge of the military library.
It was just a mere lieutenant.
Ah, pleasure to meet you. And he goes, so what should we do?
Sounds like we have a home to head to. And a door to bust down. Actually, Mr. Tanner, you did say we have the key, don't you?
Yeah, I got the key here. Yeah, also, this is more of a personal nature. You don't know, but my wife, she mentioned this to me over dinner last night. She's took interest in being a member of the Boston Historical Society. You know, the ladies in New England, how they are, their historical societies. Not so bad as some place like Marblehead, of course, according to my wife anyway. But apparently you're no one until you've made a contribution to their quarterly journal. Now, she let me know in no uncertain terms that publishing a full and detailed accounting of this Corbett house, its history, would be just the thing to get her standing improved with that group. So, if you're able to
I would love to be able to help.
help me out
Those
there.
people pay, they pay well for seances already. It's, how do you think I make my living?
Those ladies sure have interesting tastes and pastimes.
Sure do. This is supposed to be a cigar, by the way.
So, seems like first order of business is to check out this house and then maybe see if we can find some records of it in the library. Or do you want to go the other way around and see if we can go to this Boston Globe and find some articles first?
I say, let's go to the house first. Let's
What?
make sure it's real before we bother wasting time in a library.
I was told we can find help here. So I'm thinking, let's go to the house first and foremost. Right, with that, Killian will get up, pocket his knife, put the cigar on the floor, step on it, and start heading towards the door if it seems that we're done.
Killian follows him out and starts fighting with his trunk, sliding it and rolling it across the floor.
Yeah, I'll grab that letter from the table, fold it up, put it in my breast pocket, and follow along.
You take that, Mike. You hold on to that for me. Well, good luck. Stay dry. Be careful. I'm sure you'll be fine. And you all,
Lord will protect us.
all
Says sardonically.
the Order of Mystic Treasures close behind you as the rain continues to beat down. It doesn't show any signs of clearing up. Now you all drove here. Want to take separate vehicles or driving one?
Well, I'm dragging my trunk to my Model T, which is about a block away. But it is a sedan. I'm like, well, we can all fit in mine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fine with me. I just have to grab a few things. And you see him put some large lumpy things under a blanket and put that under his arm.
I just kind of wander off, and you see me just, fighting that thing in and hopping in and looking ridiculously short behind the wheel.
Did you hear that? Oh, it's supposed to be an engine.
You all hop in the relatively brand new Model T Ford, and you know it comes in a very special color, black. But you see this one seems to have a couple of extra little furnishes on it, a little more higher end. Also have been done aftermarket. Mike and Cillian, you can get the feeling maybe Mr. Zachariah has a little bit of coin to his name. Drive through the downtown streets of Boston, through the puddles, avoiding the streetcars as the vendors try and pull up the umbrellas and coverings over their stalls. And you make your way to 31 Chatham Street. And as you do, you notice the neighborhood is not what you expected when you had the address to a house. You were expecting more of suburbia, but as you drive more downtown, you find that this area has been remade. You would say it's now, instead of small houses, it's turned into larger stores and business buildings. Eventually you make it to Chatham Street and pull up outside 31. You notice a small house.
What's the house look like? I mean, is it old, new?
As you pull up, you notice this area. It's aging. Federal architecture, the relic of the country's infancy. This house sits alone. It's in a largely commercial neighborhood that has long passed it by, back-turning, brooding in the shadows of the newer buildings around it. The house fronts the street, and the rear are overgrown plantings and a half-collapsed arbor that you can see on your left. You can see overgrown shrubs, the trees kind of partially obscuring the house. Study the gray-green facade, and you notice that the way the house seems to withdraw into the shadows cast by the flanking buildings, and how heavily curtained the windows seem. Looking at a two-story house, one main door, a little pathway that kind of goes off to the left.
Does it look inhabited? Are there any candles or gas lights I can see? I guess it's daytime, so it's probably not lit. Do I see anybody moving across windows?
As you start walking up the entryway, you're looking at the windows. They're all black. Not sure.
I look around at. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I look around at like all the plant selection and just the way the house is laid out, and with the history of witchcraft that he actually does know. He's going to look for any sign that this is like, would they be growing anything that fits for anything I'm familiar with?
You take a look at the vegetation surrounding the house as you walk up the steps. But as soon as you get within about 15 feet of the house, you notice something obvious and disturbing. It's almost as if the grass and the trees, the leaves, and the flowers have all stayed back 5 feet from the house. There's just a 5 foot patch of hard brown dirt surrounding the house. You look up and see a tree where you would expect the branches to touch the side of the house and cover part of the upper windows. They stop, almost if not.
Oh. Oh, looks like someone's still maintaining a property.
I mean, this might be very real tonight. I'm thrilled. This feels right.
This feels like a waste of time. What was the tragic event that he was referring to? Either of you know?
No.
You're standing outside. Rain coming down, and there's no light coming from the house. Probably here. Late morning.
Gonna put my bowler hat. Like, GM, is there a role that I can make to see if I maybe read or heard about what happened to this Marcano family?
Skill checks.
Go ahead, give me a, let's see. Give me a history roll.
I'm looking, and I'm not seeing history in the skills tab.
It's under your rifle shotgun, second column.
Oh, there it is.
It's alphabetical.
84. Is that good?
No, that's a fail. So you want to roll under?
Under.
Yeah.
Yeah, low is good in this.
Low numbers are good in this
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
So a skill of 80 would be expert level. And
Oh,
trying
so
to
it
roll
will be
under.
easier to roll under. Okay, interesting. So one's to roll under 30 then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You're you're not much of a local news type person. It doesn't really interest you.
No, it doesn't.
I'm gonna flip up my collar, kind of look up at the rain, like, so we gonna stand out here and talk all day, or are we gonna go inside and get dry?
I'm ready to go in. This is going to be exciting. And he starts dragging his trunk up towards the front door.
Right. I cannot move my token, DM.
Oh, there we go.
Now I can. All right. I look at the door, and then I realized, grab the envelope.
Oh, guess I have it. Yeah, I'll pull out the key and try to open the door.
All right. When you get up to the key or get up to the door, you notice the front door is secured with a single large lock. But you also notice that 4 additional bolts seem to have been added, and they look somewhat new. You do notice as you climb the stairs looking through one of the side windows, the curtains are either drawn completely shut or the windows themselves are boarded.
Well, looks like there's more than one lock.
You slide the lock that you have into the main older lock and give it a turn. You hear the satisfying sound of the tumbler rolling over on the door and locking.
And I assume the key doesn't work for the rest of the locks. All right. Well, guys, what do you think we should do? We want to go look for a back door, or we want to try force this open?
Yeah, I'm looking up around the house. Are there any windows, any verandas, anything that looks like someone who can climb pretty well could climb up?
There's windows on the southern part of the building that you're facing. South.
So on second floor, first floor.
First floor.
I'll look around for a handy dandy rock.
Mike, let's see. You want to be Mark? Are you Mark or Mike?
Sure.
Are you Mark?
It doesn't really matter. We can do Mark. Yeah, that's fine.
As you notice when you turn the lock on the door, it opened, and you noticed when you were looking at the door, even though there are 4 locks, the only main one was engaged. The other 3 are unlocked.
Oh yeah, I'll jiggle the handle. Oh no, I think we're good, guys.
Oh.
And I will open the door.
Lovely, lovely. Steps to the trunk.
I'll change my name from DM Daniel also.
Oh.
It's confusing.
All right, you open the front door of the Corbett house, and you find yourself faced with a very long, dark hallway. The only light that's coming into the building is through the doorway out in the front. You can see multiple doors on both sides heading down to the edge of the hallway. You do see lights lined up alongside the walls, indicating that this house was retrofitted with electrical lighting at some point.
Is the light in here coming from outside, or is it from the electrical lights?
None of the electrical lights work. Or are on.
Oh, is there a look around for a switch?
I listen to see if I hear any movement on this floor.
You can make me a listen check. Cillian, you noticed when you first walked in on your right-hand side, there was a ceramic light switch.
Flick.
You flick, and you hear the click that you would expect, but nothing happens. The darkness remains.
This is early morning, so there's still enough light, so I'll take out my lighter and see what I can see with its light.
Zacharias pulls out a lantern. Like, I've got light.
Put the lighter back. Put the lighter away. Aye, Captain.
You can see there's multiple doors on the side.
Where do we want to go first? Oh, there we go.
Oh,
chases
okay.
him.
Bring that lantern over here, Captain.
All right, you open the double doors to the south, and you find yourself walking into what looks like a living room. There's several conventional furnishings, couch, stuffed chairs, and shelves laden with doohickeys and gewgaws. You do notice, well, you cannot help but notice the unusual quantities of crosses, images of the Virgin and rosemary beads, and other Catholic artifacts strewn throughout the living room.
It's just a crime shame.
I make a check to see if this catches any of my knowledge.
Well, it's all the Catholic faith, but the vast number of items here makes you pause. Like they're strewn everywhere, on the tables, on the floor. There's crosses on the walls.
The frown, I'll pick one.
Yeah,
off the floor,
I'm counting
put it on the
5
table.
crosses.
I'll probably will flip over my lighter because I can't see shit.
Zachariah and Mark, you leave the living room and find yourself in looks like to be the dining room. A large mahogany table sitting in the middle. Place settings for 3. You see that the 3 places they are set and unused. There's a large tureen sitting in the middle of the table, holding some sort of what you think may have been rice soup at some point. And you notice that along the sides of the room there are shattered pieces of glass, French underfoot, as you make your way through.
So there's food on the table. Does it look hot? Does it look rotten? Does it look like cold and it's been there for a day?
You kind of go over to the tureen on the table and you take a look, and you look down, and yeah, it looks like rice soup. But rice doesn't wiggle and writhe. Maggots. And the smell assaults your nose. It overpowers the dusty nature of the house.
I'll say,
it's
careful, guys. Soup's gone bad.
I'll flip open my lighter so I can see in the dark.
You want to click on your the macro in the hotbar in the bottom. There's a little flashlight.
Let's call it candle.
Yep. There you go. So you can see a little ways.
There you go. Thank you.
What are the keys to turn?
Shift.
Shift? Shift what? The shift?
Mouse wheel.
Mouse wheel.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
When there's something saying at the bottom of the screen, that means you're frozen, right?
Yeah. As you make your way through the living room and into the dining room, past the mahogany table, in the dining room comes music.
Afraid of the big bad wolf, big bad
Oh,
wolf, big
dear.
bad wolf.
Take out my knife with my other hand.
Fa la 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 la.
It
Yeah.
startles you. It breaks the silence. You all swivel.
Take my revolver out of its holster.
Long ago there were 3 pigs, little handsome piggy wigs.
In a second, you feel this man's hand on your shoulder.
They didn't give 3 pigs. Number 1 was very
Like whilst
gay,
you were like with the knife,
and
but
he built
like
his house with
puts
hay.
it down.
With a hey
Don't
toot,
touch
he
me.
flew on his flute and he played around all day.
I'm probably gonna turn my
Number 2 was
flashlight
fond
Yeah,
of
the
jigs,
music
and
is
so
so
he
loud,
built
I'm
his
able
house
to
with twigs.
hear very well.
Hey
I
diddle
can't,
diddle, he played on his fiddle
find out to
and
adjust
danced
it on
with
the,
lady
VTT.
pigs. Number 3 said nix on tricks. I will build my house with bricks. He had no chance
Mark,
to
you
sing and dance
start
'cause work
heading
and
back
play
towards
don't
the
mix.
living room.
Yeah, can I sneak?
Give me a
This
stealth
seems like
roll.
Who's afraid
Okay.
of the big bad wolf? Big bad wolf, big bad wolf. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? La 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 la.
That is a extreme success.
Yeah.
So that's what happens when you beat it by below 1/5. So you are as a mouse.
Yeah. I'm gonna kind of do the tactical thing where I have the pistol in one hand, the flashlight above it, ready to flick it on as soon as I see somebody.
All right,
And
go ahead.
And yeah, was it this way?
All right, you head back into the living room. You get to hear, and the radio is on your right-hand side, and you turn and flash your light on it, and you can see it's a brand new Crowsley 64 TJ Victory model radio. Beautiful, state of the art, and it's playing away.
Okay. It seems to fit in with everything else here, right? Like. Okay, yeah. Now I guess I'll probably just turn it off then.
Who's afraid of the big bad wolf?
All right.
Does it turn off when I press the button?
Yeah,
Or
you-
turn the dial, flip the switch?
You reach over and hit the switch, and it goes silent. Once again, you find yourself in the eerie quiet of the house.
Well, that was weird. Well, want to go check out the other side of the house?
Zachariah hasn't budged an inch. He's just almost frozen.
Not quite what you were expecting, Zachariah.
Bug at this. I'm gonna grab a chair, if possible, and attempt to break it in such a way that I can take one of the legs and use it as a makeshift torch. Get a little bit more light.
Well, since let's see, what am I on now? Yeah, Zachariah, he literally just hands you a lantern. Uses his flashlight.
Thank you kindly. Slide it away. And I thought I was well prepared.
I've done these before.
Cillian and Zachariah, you can make spot hidden rolls.
How do I turn the light? You said.
Spot?
Oh, shift
hidden.
and mouse wheels rotate.
If you move your token in a direction, it'll automatically turn it that way.
Oh, that is so cool.
And
Okay,
then
there it goes.
If you want to rotate it to
for
look
me.
around, yeah, you hold shift and you rotate your mouse wheel to go all the way around.
That is extremely cool. Thank you very much, Phyllis. You said hidden, spot hidden. Okay, come right up.
Lower post. Okay.
Zachariah as well.
What's that?
Spot hidden.
Hey, 9.
Ooh, 09. So you see
Where's-
that's
Where's Spot?
alphabetical. So Cillian, you know that's an extreme success. So you're standing there waiting for Mark to turn off the radio. You look down at the long mahogany table that's set there, and you notice you see gouge marks in the wood. Multiple. Maybe a dozen or so.
Do they look like it's spelling out anything or drawing anything, or are they random?
It looks to be haphazard. It doesn't look like any sort of pattern. But with that roll and your background, you're pretty sure it looks like from your time overseas. There's a game you used to play where you each used to place a bet. You'd put a hand on the table, and you do that. It's the same kind of markings that you see, but it's not in that pattern. It's random all over the table.
Like somebody stabbed the table just randomly all over.
Mm-hmm.
Someone.
There it goes.
Someone's got slippy hands. Look at this. I'll take my own knife and put it like in the thing to see how big of a knife they used.
What kind of knife do you have? You got this pocket knife, eh?
I got a yeah, this is the pocket knife.
Yeah, much bigger. Probably 3 times the size of the indentation and deeper. Not a child's toy. Not something a Boy Scout would carry.
The fuck, I say under my breath.
Mark, as you head back into the living room, you see Cillian examining the table and Zachariah is looking over his shoulder. There's a set of curtains here that you push aside and you find yourself standing in a kitchen. Conventional kitchen, actually. You see there's an ice box, there's a wood-fed stove, an oven. There's a wall-mounted phone here as well. Although that you can
Fancy.
clearly see that the cord has been cut. And a meager larder there as well.
Okay. Cord's been cut. All right. I'll just kind of do a brief investigation. All the knives in the knife block. Things like that. Just cursory.
All right, you take a look around. You want to, let's...
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
You see a big fucking knife anywhere there?
I assume I see a few.
This one will be real fucking big.
Yeah, you take a look through the kitchen and you notice some of the foodstuffs that you see on the counter and stuff. Some of them look like it might have been edible, the canned stuff, the soup, and there's some meat. A few bottles of homemade wine, some dry pastas. You see there is some produce. Looked like may have been lettuce at one point and celery. But that is spoiled and gone limp, and it looks like there's little bite marks all over it. Eaten by rats, judging by the spore left behind.
Very unappealing room.
Yeah.
But do I see any knife that looks like it would be big enough?
Whew. I will say this, Zachariah starts unloading his case, opening up and just pulling out like a crystal ball and candles, starts setting it on the table.
Yeah, Mark will just look at him bemused, or Mike, whatever my name is. Uh-oh. Well, I would like to investigate. Is next to the icebox over here? I'll knock on it a couple times and then wait a second before I open it. Oh, well then I'll try and open it real quick to see what I can see inside there. I think there's rats or something.
See Zachariah pull out a pair of ridiculous glasses that have these little lights above each eye. He clicks it on.
Long ago there were 3 pigs, little handsome piggy wicks.
Yeah, I'll just let it play. Turning it off the first time didn't work. Second time, why would it?
One was very gay, and he built his house with hay. With a hey hey toot, he blew on his flute, and he played around all day. Number 2 was fond of jigs, and so he built his
Oh,
house
yeah,
with twigs.
I did.
Hey diddle diddle, he
Think
played
rats
on
must be
his
chewing the
fiddle
wires or
and
something.
with lady pigs. Number 3 said nix on
Where
tricks.
is
I will
Find the
build
door.
my house with bricks. He had no
Oh,
chance
door
to
was
sing,
over
and
this
that's 'cause work
ways.
and play don't mix.
Oh, there we go.
Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Big bad wolf, big bad wolf. Who
That's kind of catchy.
La 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 la.
Alright, after a while I'll actually like turn it off again. So I'll make sure to get through a full loop of the song. I'm gonna unplug it.
I'm following him. I'm just kind of looking out from behind him, looking at this thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will point this out to Zachariah. Like, hey, this was never plugged in.
Have I heard of this before? Can I roll for that? Education. Where is education? Oh, okay. Boo-boo-boo. Oop, come on. Here we go. Promising, gentlemen. Very promising this is. And he goes back to his chest. Somebody may want to get that. Zachariah goes and he's going to check this out.
Yeah, Mike will sigh very deeply and says, all right, but if that phone's not plugged in, I say we burn the house down.
Nonsense. How do I get there? There we go. Where is it at? No, I'm sorry. He goes ahead and answers the phone anyway. Hello? Is it up? The magnetic fluids are rich tonight. Oh, I'm excited. Goes back to his table. You see Zachariah setting up like he's setting up a seance. The gazing ball. He pulls out this big brass horn about 2 feet long, sets it on the table. It's got a little jar, odds and ends, laying it out like, and then last thing is he reaches over into his chest, he takes his fedora off, and he puts on this red silk turban. lights some incense, starts looking into the gazing sphere and trying to do what he can on a seance. He has no idea if it'll work.
Turban looks good on you, old chap.
Oh, they the rich people seem to like it. And he starts, waving his hand over this crystal ball, focusing in. Ah, nasty.
Yeah, don't tip it over. It's full of maggots.
Oh, someone remove that. I can't focus. His face is all wrinkled and pinched, and he kind of just starts sliding the ball down to the end of the table away from the tureen, putting it in front of him, just kind of pushing a few plates out of the way. This will have to do. I'm going to try what I've seen about seances and read about. I mean, he kind of makes a living doing seances. How legitimate they are, well, that's to be. All righty.
Yeah, No, I'll take pull out a hip flask from somewhere, take a swig. I'm like, wow, you're pretty good at that.
I am very familiar with the ectoplasmic realms. He just kind of goes at it. Spirits, make yourselves known to us. Reach out to us. Tell us what you have to say.
Yeah.
A witch
Yeah.
check? All righty.
Yeah, I'd like to look around for anything abnormal. Mm-hmm. How long does this usually take? Is that it? I know as much as you do. Oh. Um. Okay. Is that it? Well,
You go, what's the matter?
oh, oh, hey, it's you. Um, well, so for a second there, you weren't you. You were telling us to, well, you're very clear. You wanted us to get out.
Oh, gentlemen, this is real. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. Oh, so he wasn't happy to hear from us, huh?
No, he was very clear he wants us to get out.
Oh, this is going to be so exciting. I can't wait to try out all this stuff.
Which, so that's worrisomely vague. What stuff would you like to try out?
Oh,
And you sure you don't want to get out?
oh no. I have a simple question. Are you paying me or somebody else? Why would I put a show on for you? Oh,
Does
no,
make
this is very
sense.
exciting. Well, believe me or not, he starts kind of looking around, trying to pondering what to do next. He seems to be just kind of like going through mental checklists. We can do this, that. We can do that. We can do that. What do we know about this place?
Just a whole lot of nothing. We could have gone and done some research, but we just kind of went straight here.
Hmm.
I'll whip out the paper we got. Let's see. Uh, Mr. Knotts is not able to sell this house. The Mercurio family were involved in a tragedy. Is that goddamn radio again?
Yeah, Zachariah is currently putting stuff away back in his trunk. Yes, I think perhaps it is time to do more research.
Yeah. Now the note just says a tragedy, but now that I think about it, that is very vague.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
Thanks for the patience, guys. Yeah, up the stairs.
I went into a trance doing my little seance thing. After the
Oh.
radio kept turning on and off?
Yeah, first off, the radio's haunted. It keeps turning itself on. It's unplugged, but it keeps on turning itself on.
Okay, before it turns
Um,
itself on again, Kev,
A couple of times now,
yeah,
yeah.
just like makes it, just if you can make it lower on the overall thing, because I couldn't figure out, and when it was on, I couldn't hear. Okay, thank you.
There we go.
Sorry about that, guys. I was. It occurred to me only when I was driving to text you, hey, like just go ahead if it's taking too long. But I was driving, so that was a bad idea.
but yeah, our
I'm smashing the
interesting
damn
friend
thing.
here, Zachariah, did a whole seance and got possessed by something that kept us telling us to leave, get out, and such. Which for some reason we're not following that advice. I'd be terrible in a horror movie. I'd have already burned down this house and moved the country. That was
Yep.
the other thing with
I
the
can hear
cut
the phone, I can
line.
hear music, I can hear nothing else. It is drowning you guys out so badly.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have one slider. I have only one slider. I don't have any other sliders I can control.
Yeah, I've only got one there as well.
It's not controlling the music, or it's not controlling the phone. That's still really, really loud. I can barely hear anything.
I don't have the radio or the
That's
phone.
much better. Yeah. That's much better. That's
I've only got ambient.
now it is. Now I'm to echo. Yeah,
All right.
I'm getting it like multiple times. If I can need to make a sanity check, I'm gonna reload the page on my end too. See if that
All right.
works.
There we go. Anyway.
Okay, now I can't hear nothing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Who are you? Faith in fucking Magor.
I'm like, oh. Oh. That was fun. They don't seem to want us to be here. And he just starts to put stuff away. Research is in order. Let's find out more. Closes his trunk up, starts dragging it out.
Gillian shakes his head. Like clutches something under his shirt. I hate this fucking house. If that radio's playing again, I'm busting that shit open. I'm busting it open. I'm looking in the other rooms. This is some kind of storage room that of things that are burnt and broken. What the? Oh, I didn't realize they were leaving the house. Bastards!
Walk back up. What's he doing in there?
Oh, I'm sure he'll be out any second.
Run out. Give you guys a touch glance.
He starts dragging his stuff back out to his car. You see him struggling, putting his big ass trunk up. Quite the spectacle. Oh, I'm getting my. Oh, this is terrible. And he throws it in the car. And he's like, oh, and somebody locked the door.
Oh, yeah, I'll go back and lock the door, I guess. I'll say, so what's the idea, Zachariah? You said research?
Yeah,
Note?
let's find out what these things are. Why is it there? Somebody's got to know something.
The note mentions we could try the offices of the Boston Globe or any local library.
Boston Globe. There's reporters there. He goes, yeah, that'll be dry by the time we get there. Got to look the part. Might even get our picture in the paper. Yeah, let's go there first. Any promotion is good promotion.
What say you, Killian?
I say that this place is getting enough fucking grips. It slams the car door like.
And away we go, gentlemen. And he starts it up, and we head to the newspaper. Zachariah loudly. Come on, gentlemen, we must look our best. And he's putting on this ridiculous turban. And you see the big eye of Horus, gold piece in the middle of it, holding it together. Come on.
Mike's gonna walk faster so he can try and get to whatever front desk is first before the rest of the group. Just like a quick little double step.
Dillian walks in the back, trying to take the most spacious way. He doesn't like being cramped.
Oh, why? I hope you can, miss. And then I'll kind of pause, waiting for it to fill in. Miss Jensen. Well, thank you, Miss. Alright. It's a charm. Ooh. But yeah. Well, we were, hoping to do some, research. We're looking into some, an issue at a house down the road from here. Do you know, where I could look into some records or something? Yeah, we were investigating. Me and my associates here are a team of investigators. We're looking into a house down the street. What street was it? Down on Chantham Street, the old Corbett house. We were wondering if we could find any information here about it.
Well, so, out of nowhere, he just kind of like pops up right next to him. Oh, young lady, I am Zechariah Mafalza, master of the occult. Perhaps you can help us. And he's like just smiling at her and, you know. He goes, oh, aren't you a lovely young thing? You. I am Zechariah Mafalza, as my friends like to call me. Thank you, my dear.
I stay standing.
Oh, this is. He goes and sits. Goes, this is so exciting. Oh, fantastic. Come, gentlemen.
Did I see anything interesting on her desk while she's been gone? Any loose papers that I should know about? Fair enough. Gotcha.
I kind of crane my head over and see if I can see any interesting names or messages as I pass. Yes, sir. Probably not. 57. 25. I follow.
Oh, well, I, Zachariah Mathalsia, I'm an occultist researcher, and, well, it's something that, maybe you know about. And I kind of relate the story of this house. Does that ring a bell? A haunted house, a mysterious haunted house. Ah, I know there's a bunch of bamboozlers out there, but the odd chance this one's real. Ooh. Maybe. Well, we're trying to find out if it is. Because I know most of it's a little extravagant compared to what it's described to what it is, but I think this one might be the real thing. I just had the hell scared out of me. So, and I say, start showing him what we know about this place, the Corbett House, and relating its history.
Could be a good story, an exclusive story even. All right.
Meanwhile, it's me behind, like, growling in the back of my throat.
Ooh.
You're funny. Ooh, you got me.
Yeah. You're a man of business. I admire that. Have a good day.
Tilt my hat.
Inhospitable location, I must say.
Aren't you worried about the fire?
Very professional. Very.
Looking around,
Yeah.
is there anything particularly catching eye-catching?
Yep. I'm gonna hit and look for anything I can find in this house.
Ask,
Okay, then. I didn't mean to click it, my apologies, but I'll take that 90.
can I ask, before you go, could I get coffee, 2 creams, no sugar, and is there a chair? Not with that attitude.
Fire.
Wow. Oh. It could have a detrimental effect.
I'll push it.
I
See
push
what
it.
happens.
Boom.
Oh,
There.
beat me to it. Can I still hold if he did?
And that was the library.
Nice!
None of us are good at library, huh?
Wow.
Nope.
Just not got this.
Oh. Hey guys, come check this out.
Oh. What
Found
did you
something.
find there? Been at this for hours. It's just dreadful.
Like finding myself in my hat.
Here, I'll read it. Let's see. So, there's a note on the side here that's in red ink. Do not print. The editor says we will end up with a damn lawsuit on our hands. Copy ED.
Editor.
But yeah, here, let's see. It says, what haunts the house on Catham Street? Monday, October 28th, 1918. How long ago was that, GM?
So, 2 years.
Couple years. So, something sinister seems to haunt a local Boston house. Whatever it has destroyed 3 families in the last 40 years. The 2-story house at 31 Cantham Street has been the site of fear, madness, death, and possibly murder since before the turn of the century. In 1880, a family of French immigrants by the name of Ledoux rented the property and moved in. What horrors happened to those people of the year will never be known, save that a series of violent attacks of some kind left both parents dead and their 3 children crippled for life. The house stood vacant for almost 20 years, but in 1909, another family moved in. From the time they moved into the house, Mr. and Mrs. Jones fell prey to illness and sickness, almost as if the house itself were conspiring against them. Their children did not fare much better, though. All of them lived in the house for several years. The terror reached a head when in 1914, the oldest of the Joneses' children went mad and killed himself with a kitchen knife. The Jones family moved out after that, heartbroken at their loss. The third family rented the house in 1917, but after less than a month, when all of them became ill at the same time. Is this house haunted? Perhaps there is something wrong with the water, or some disease still linger there from when it was built. In any case, anyone who dares to live there now had better be brave and strong, for they take their lives into their own hands. J.A.R.R.
Hearing
Wonder-
that, does this type of haunting ring a bell with me? Something plaguing generations. Right there at it. Ooh. He goes, oh, it is a curse, of course. Must be. But how do we deal with it?
Seems
Who
Like
made
it-
the curse?
it seems like it affects children differently. And didn't it have like a childlike song that was on that song?
What if we talk to the surviving children? I'm sure they'd be willing to help.
Or we could hunt down this J.A.R.R. person. You know, they wrote this article. They might have more notes that didn't make it in. You know, he might have had things he trimmed out to try and make the words.
Very, very good, very good. And he writes down the initials.
Oh yeah, no, I'm also like folding over this piece of paper and putting it in my pocket. I assume we're not being watched or anything like that. Yeah. Sure. No, I'll
Re-energized and invigorated. Yeah, I'm gonna look up the Jones child that killed himself. I'm gonna find that
Yeah.
stories in there in 1914.
I'm going to look through the archive and see if I can find any other reports by J.R.R.
Yeah, I'll keep on the street track and see if neighbors or anything else that can cross-reference this street or this area.
Yep.
Oh no. I don't like the double skulls.
Paper cuts everywhere. Oh man. Oh boy, smaller print. Okay. Sure.
Residents bloodied marriage committed. Residents of the North End were startled when a man covered with blood rushed out of his home and down the street Monday, screaming obscenities and babbling about burning eyes. Police identified the man as Vittorio Macario, a resident at 31st Chatham Street, looked to the other men meaningfully, who had a serious accident in his own home. It is uncertain what exactly happened to Mr. Macario, but police speculate he fell down a flight of steps, or perhaps even out a closed window. Macario reportedly ran down the street, screaming after his initial accident, swinging his fists at anyone who passed. He also tried to bite several people and then got a knife from a nearby butcher shop. He was soon subdued and arrested by police, who could not make out what he was trying to say. Mr. Macario was bollocks to that. Tuesday at Roxbury Sanitarium. No charges are presently been issued against him. Mr. Macario has lived at Chatham Street with his wife Gabriella since September of 1918. He had 2 sons. Well, ain't that just a lovely field of daisies?
Yes. Very, very interesting.
Alright. Wife of madman committed. In a bizarre repeat of last fall's madman who's terrorizing the streets of the North End, the woman has been institutionalized. Gabriella Marsario was recently committed at Roxbury Sanitarium after she was found huddled on the front step of her house at 31 Cantham Street, babbling about a haunting form with burning eyes. Mrs. Marsario spoke little, but reportedly claimed that something was in the house with her family. She told police of someone or something trying to get into the windows of her home, and blood appearing from nowhere in various parts of the house. She also told police that she feared a certain bedroom on the 2nd floor. Last October, Vittorio Marsario, husband of Gabriella, burst from his house covered with blood. The madman rushed into the street screaming about burning eyes and death. He evaded police for some time. He even got a knife from a butcher shop and was finally subdued by police and committed to Roxbury Sanitarium soon after. And then I'm going to flip back through each article and point out to everyone, like, look, there's a knife in each of these.
Oh. You know, maybe we should speak to the people in the sanitarium. That seems promising. And it'd be most exciting.
Aye. Put on, methinks.
I mean, we do get paid $25 a day. Just want to call it a day?
My head is literally pounding. My eyes are watering. I am done, gentlemen. It's like, oh, no worries. We are quite done. And starts putting, puts everything away real quick.
Would you gentlemen like a coffee? I sure am parched.
That's a phenomenal idea. Let's see if we can find out about this. And he pulls out that paper, and he goes up to the desk. He goes, my dear, where would we get coffee? The one with the initials on it that I wrote down. I'm just kind of holding it. Yeah. Yeah, oh, coffee. And yes, is this one of yours, J.R.? Is this his name kept. Oh, interesting. All right. Probably before your time. I think this is from like 2 years ago. That's why it wouldn't be in there if he's gone. Oh. Hmm.
We did. Thank you kindly.
You've been most accommodating. We're going to go find coffee somewhere. Thank you. And he just, this is quite the day, gentlemen. What
Indeed.
now?
Well, the two of you said you're tired. I say we can still keep going. You know what this case will make for us? Fame. We'll be famous, gentlemen.
Yeah. So let's.
As long as there's money to go along with the fame.
Oh, there'll be money. I'm sure of it.
Oh, I think we'll make a great team.
Aye. Definitely surprised me.
Oh. Ah. Let's
There was
see.
a
Wanna.
Okay.
there wa-
There we go. Boss
Yeah.
Globe.
Oh, articles found.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
yeah.
Sweet. All right. Yeah, because we have names to keep track of. Holy crap.
Ah, yes.
Yep.
JR and Victoria and Gabriela.
Yeah, do you guys want to retire to a diner and we can compare notes and I'll pull out all the stolen articles from the archives that I have.
Oh, dinner absolutely is in order.
Hi. DM, it is this around the time like where you can call you can ask the operator if she knows the location of someone just off by name, right?
We just have initials though.
No, we don't. We have J and the last name R. A-R-R. How many names starting with J do you think there are? James, Jonathan, Joseph.
Can't hurt to try. I'm sure a diner would have a phone we could use.
Aye. Let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna look for a diner with a phone. On the way out, he put his fedora on and put his silk turban back in the car.
Right. Yeah, I'll get a coffee and whatever pie by the slice they have there. Whatever the daily special is.
Take a small black coffee and a shepherd's pie. Hello, shepherd's pie.
Like, all right, gentlemen. What? So, what we know is we know that there's a room on the second floor that a resident there feared. We know when people go crazy, they seem to go get butcher knives.
need
What
to know the-
else?
We don't know the name. Names have power. We need his name. Its name.
Wait, it's?
It. You
Don't you
said
mean
so.
who?
The one who told us to get out.
Yes.
Oh.
We cannot attribute human qualities to that of the beyond.
Maybe we can check city records, see who owned the house initially.
Very good idea. Very, very good. He's jotting some of this stuff down. At that point, he just kind of gets lost in thought.
I'll wave the waitress over and ask her about the phone.
Do you think any of these people are still alive? Could we maybe go to the sanatorium and maybe talk to any of them?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they met it. They're the perfect people to talk to.
Seems it'll not always be in a bad mood, and some people lived for several years.
Do any of you gentlemen know how to run a movie camera? This could be worth a lot of money.
Cillian grins. I certainly do.
Oh,
Oh.
you see, Zachariah smiling. He goes, "Okay, I'm putting movie camera on the list for when we return. This is going to be wonderful."
Cillian's has new life infused in him as soon as movies are mentioned. I'll pull the phone towards me, if that's the kind of phone they had, and okay, I'll dial for the operator. Hello, operator. I'm looking for a J.R. First initial J, second last name A.R.R. Maybe James, Joshua, Jonathan, Joseph. Thank you kindly. I'll swallow a bite of shepherd's pie I bought with me. Yeah. Not at all. No. Last name A.R.R. Not a single one. Slams the receiver. Bollocks to this. Turn back to. No
It's never
JRs. No R's at all.
Well, we
Should
can
have
ask the
spoken to
people in the sanitarium. Maybe they know.
We should. We also should have spoken to that editor before we left.
It's getting late. Management usually goes home early.
As they should.
Finish my coffee and shepherd's pie. Looking out at the rain.
Interesting. He smiles up and he goes, "We are researching mysteries of the occult. Quite flamboyantly. Oh, that is tinkering compared to the powers that we discuss. It is an amazing thing. People simply do not understand.
I don't understand. I was an army man, like yourself, end up, this. A man of the occult, of demons, of shades and fiends and hags.
I've always dabbled in this since I was a young man. But it was war. One must do their duty in war.
Oh my god.
So, where did you learn how to do this? Is this something passed down through your family?
No, I am strictly self-taught. I am the last descendant of my line, and it falls to me to carry on. And this is how I choose to do it.
Well, let's just be careful going forward. To be honest, I was looking for fame, money, and some answers. Answers.
To what, pray tell, your questions, sir?
Shakes his head. Sorry, Chris, can you repeat last?
He goes, well, pray tell, what questions do you have, good sir?
Says something nasty in the war. Well, not nasty, really, but strange. We were bombarded. Part of the wall in the trench collapsed, and I went to the basement of an old house. I went inside, and I was the last one alive of my unit. I saw McGillicuddy trying to resuscitate Ephraim. Ephraim had no lower half. McGillicuddy himself. Every time he pushed down on Ephraim's chest, a little bit more of his own brain spilled out. A dead man trying to resuscitate a dead man.
Does this ring a bell with me? This kind of occult stuff?
Couldn't bear with it. I went back into that little basement. Inside there was runes on the walls, strange markings and symbols. Made me see things, hear things, feel things. When I woke up, my hair's gone completely white, and I had bitten my tongue nearly completely off. He'll open his mouth, taking a second. You guys can see like the scar across halfway through his tongue where he almost bit it off.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Ever since then, I knew no more. Dreams on the big screen for me. But this could be the break I was looking for. Maybe.
We must make sure to get you in frame in all the shots.
You better do that, Mr. Zachariah. I'll hold you down to what?
Oh, as long as I'm there next to you, I'm happy with that. I can share the screen.
I'm a stuntman by trade.
I think you're more than that. Smiles.
Just a little bit more. Helps me.
Oh, you're fantastic. Thank you, my good lady.
Tip of the hat.
Yep, just wink at her.
Oh, that's
Good
a
little thing.
good thing. So, something tore all those people apart. That sounds absolutely dreadful, my friend. And you,
No,
you managed to live.
It was a bombardment.
Oh.
Aye.
War is the worst hell of all, I think.
I didn't think I'd find something that scared me again. Looks like I was wrong. If I hear that fucking bad wolf song once more, my gun's coming out.
Well, good, because I'm certainly not going to be any fisticuffs myself. I am not quite equipped for that. He says, looking up at you.
I make half my living with fisticuffs.
Ah,
Enjoy. How about you, Mark?
Oh, he'll pat his holster, which you saw him have a revolver in earlier. But he said, not really a violent man. I can take care of myself in a fight, but I would rather not start a fight if I don't have to.
Right. Well, I think we wagged our jaws enough. What's our next step then? I say we head to the sanitarium and stop by the editor, ask him about this JR fella. But the sanitarium is likely be where we find our next answers.
I absolutely agree.
Aye.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh. Sounds like we need to take a long rest.
yes.
We're gonna meet Batman!
Really wish I had
Oh.
detect magic earlier so I could figure out what's going on in that house.
What detect magic work?
Ooh. Wow. Okay. All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's head out. So are we heading to the sanitarium today, or are we going back to bed? Or
I think we're gonna crash for the night.
Yeah, it seems like a good time to, go to sleep, start fresh in the morning.
alright?
You guys want to meet back here at this diner, or I don't know where you guys live.
First thing in the morning, right here. Breakfast will be on me.
Oh, okay.
If you're offering, so.
Oh yes. And then he also pays for dinner. For everybody.
Ma taught us never to look a gift horse in the mouth. Thank you kindly, sir.
Yeah, no, it's very generous of you. Thank you.
Of course, of course.